And welcome to Around the Ozark Spotlight. Each week we uncover the stories behind the people who live and work here in Southwest Missouri. Those individuals with entrepreneurial spirit who work to better the lives of others or put pen to paper to write books about stories and history of the Ozarks and its people. I'm your host, Scott Meier. Today we're going to explore the world of the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds with its new CEO, because there wasn't a CEO before, right, Aaron?
That's
So
correct.
the new CEO, Aaron Owen. Aaron, how are you?
Good. Doing great.
And you've been part of the Ozark Empire Fair for a long time.
Yeah, as an employee, I've been here soon to be 11 years, but I was on the board before that.
Okay, so it's kind of in your blood. What did you do before the fair?
I was with the Paul Mueller Company for 33 and a half years in various different capacities, president of the trucking division, the field construction division, and a divisional president at the plant the last couple of years.
So you needed something else to do to keep you up at night and make all your weekends busy, right?
It was an opportunity. I was on the board, and one of our older board members at the time, a great guy, Edsel Matthews, took me to lunch 3 times and said, "We need you to come to the fairgrounds and fix some things." So,
It's funny. There's something about 3 times a charm. I've had a couple of positions where it took 3 times before I accepted. And
when my last
yeah,
son
but it works
graduated,
out.
yep.
Right? So it's worked out for you. I think a lot of people drive by the fairgrounds exit on a day-to-day basis and probably sometimes even forget it's there. There's been a lot going on there this last year and certainly going forward. I know you've got a new plan. Can we talk about that a little bit? What are we trying to do with the fairgrounds? Because it looks like it's almost like a complete makeover.
Well, we kind of call it the little city anymore. It started back in 2014. We went in and started fixing up a lot of things that were broken when I got here, making it customer service friendly, took back over our own concessions, and with that started developing a long-term plan to come in here and grow the needs of the community. We built a couple of new smaller buildings, and then in 2020 we built a 45,000 square foot facility that really grabbed a hold. In 21, we jumped in and built restrooms and shower houses to enhance that.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 22, we ended up closing that building and putting heat in it. So while our arena was tore down, we could move a lot of those renters up into that facility, amongst others as well. And then several remodels in 20 and 21 to buildings, and actually those were all done in support of this new arena coming about. And so it's finally underway. And then we are also tore down a barn that had been there since the 60s. It's 120 by 120, and it'll be up and going by fair time as well. So we can now host any junior national livestock show in America. We can do up to 1,750 head at one time. We'll have the air-conditioned arena. But then that arena was very diversely built to do like the arena football we just booked. It's perfect for them. We're working on another large event for a 5-year contract that I can't reveal yet. But we just booked a large livestock show for the Maine Anjus in 2024, which wouldn't have come here without the arena being here. So it'll do horse shows, monster trucks, tractor pulls, everything that can be inside there, as well as it's designed to do cheer competitions, volleyball, archery, various type national events on a larger scale.
So you're making it full service. It's really come really the full circle in this case. So the plan, I think let's back up just a bit. Who owns the Ozark Empire Fair?
So
the fairgrounds,
the land itself is owned by the city of Springfield.
Okay.
Was park boards transferred over in 2012 to the city of Springfield, so we could get our liquor license. All the facilities on here. And our lease just renewed. We got a multi-year lease. All the buildings are ours until the lease expires or for some reason we walked away. We're
Mm-hmm.
operated by an old society. There used to be a lot of societies in the agriculture world. So our official name is Greene County Agriculture Mechanical Society. We have shareholders. I'm one of those. All of our board members own shares. We have to have an annual meeting, bylaws, do all the rules and everything to do that. And we have a 501c3 under our foundation that was formed in 2002.
Mm-hmm.
The fair itself is a 501b, a benevolent organization.
Okay. And the difference between that and the 501c would be, does it operate as a for-profit?
We pay tax on all of our food and beverage.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't pay any taxes when we go to buy materials to do improvements and things of that nature. But really, nobody knows what a 501b is anymore. So our tax papers on that says 501c3, but it's
Really a 501b.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. My guest on around the Ozark Spotlight today is Aaron Owen. I've had the privilege of knowing Aaron for some time. Always wondered about that, Aaron, because I know the park board has an interest in the fairgrounds. They own the property, you said, but
they don't anymore. No, the city
they don't. The
No.
city owns it. Okay,
Yes.
So the park board is separate from the city.
Yes, they operate separately.
Okay, all right. And the city now has have they got a hand in all this building that's going on, or is that strictly the board?
No, they do not. In fact, that was one of our smallest funding sources in everything we did. The city themselves, we did a
Mhm.
lot with the state of Missouri. We did a lot. Greene County was great to us. We got private money. Convention Visitors Bureau jumped in and helped. We got a pretty small token from the city themselves.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's exciting now because we just found out. Actually, I was traveling, but I was reading a story in the paper online, and saw that we got an arena football league coming, and
Yeah,
that was right out of left field.
Well, we've been working on that since November. Like we're working on several other deals. One of those will be on a fairly large scale, an event to get in here. We should know about by April 1st. But yeah, it's we're right in the heart of being between JQH and the O'Reilly's Arena, and 6,500 seats, and
Mhm.
there will be. We took about 8 years developing what we wanted this to end up being, visiting other cities, other fairs, the ability to move in dirt in and out. How do we set it up for trade shows? Kind of the ideal seating scenario. So it's got a full kitchen in it. It'll have a VIP area upstairs with glass that you can look out of, and special seats for the VIPs. There's showers and locker rooms to support the sports world. There's all the structural steel and electrical in it to do concerts.
Mhm.
So we've had a lot of partners over that 8-9 years of learning from their mistakes.
Oh, absolutely. So, is there a chance that we can lay down ice as well, or no?
No, ice has been a failure in several locations, so we didn't go there.
Okay.
Kansas City is the nearest one to us that all their ice stuff is mothballed, and they haven't done it for quite some time. So that's one thing that's not on the radar.
Mm-hmm. What about possibly a CBA team? Is there still CBA basketball?
Yeah,
Is that a possibility or no?
If they can bring the floor in, we have not bought a basketball floor.
Mm-hmm.
Most all the other competitions carry their floors with them, and it's designed where there's a 30-foot airplane hangar door, so you can come in on the east end with a semi and unload your floors and goals and stuff of that nature.
Now, so the floor is dirt at this point,
Concrete.
right?
No,
It's concrete. Oh, so
Yeah.
you bring in anytime you have an event that uses a dirt floor, that dirt has to be brought in and then exit?
it's stored on site. So we took the dirt out of the old arena and screened it as we was bringing it out of there during the demolition process.
I bet you found some interesting stuff in
Well, there's a lot of rocks, but
that.
and then we already had 300-400 loads of dirt on site.
Mm-hmm.
So that's stored out by the grandstand, and we'll bring it in and out depending on the event and what they need.
Now, the football, I've had a chance to watch arena football. It's really exciting. It's amazing that they can play football in a space that size. The arena floor is how big?
Well, the arena floor at the bottom bleachers pushed back is 299 feet long by 180 feet wide.
So it's almost a football field.
Yeah, and arena football, they need 200 feet long and about, well, with the VIP booths, about 100 or about 200 feet wide. But a lot of that is for VIP booths to be in.
Who contacted who? Did you talk to them first, or did they call you?
No, actually, we had a gentleman that's been working with us quite a bit the last year and a half, and he had a connection that reached out to him from Kansas City, and then he reached out to me, and through their acquaintance, we got to talking in November, and here we are. So it moved pretty fast. It was pretty exciting because out of 10 cities, Springfield got the most votes out of all 10 cities for them to look at taking arena football to.
Can you share with us what some of the other cities were so we can have a comparison?
Yeah, Duluth, Minnesota was one. Kansas City was one. I'm trying to think. I don't remember the other ones off the top of my head, but there was 10 total.
Well, that says a lot about Springfield. They must see a lot of opportunity here.
Right. We've had the ticket sales of. I'm blown away with the ticket sales. Don't come to us, but they're going to one of the owners, and he's been quite excited. We had a great turnout at the press conference, and just the next day he sent an email out, kind of like, "Wow, this is awesome." So Springfield's excited to have some summer football.
Well, I think anybody in Springfield that's a football fan knows Kurt Warner came out of the Arena Football League. And even though he wasn't a Chief, he was a Ram. And technically the Rams were a Missouri team for a short time. So that's exciting. Let's go on to all the other things that happen at the fairgrounds. You know, and I never know which way to call it. Is it Ozark Empire Fair, Ozark Empire Fairgrounds? I mean, technically, what's on the paperwork?
Well, that's what's on the paperwork. Ozark Empire Fairgrounds is a DBA, but we technically go as the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds and Event Center. Where a lot of people don't know that we're one of the, if not the largest concession and catering person in Springfield.
I would guess nobody knows that.
We can do up to 2,000 seats in one of our halls, and we have a full kitchen to support that. We've got 3 restaurants on site, building another one in the new arena, and it will have a full kitchen in it also. So that's kind of a hidden secret. We own a franchise for Maui Wowie, and we own food trucks. So we go in about a 3 to sometimes 4 state region doing food offsite. We also have a large convention and service business where we take pipe and drape and tables and chairs and stuff like that. And we've been in Kansas this past month twice doing that as well. So we bought stuff that we do for us. So we did the organic growth first, and now we've blown that out to where we can support other areas.
We're going to find out what's coming up soon in the next couple of months. Hopefully warmer weather. We'll start there. But we're talking with Aaron Owen, who is the CEO of Ozark Empire Fairgrounds. And we'll be back in just a moment with more from around the Ozark Spotlight. And welcome back to Around the Ozark Spotlight. I'm your host, Scott Meier. With me is Aaron Owens, the CEO. Aaron Owen, the CEO of Ozark Empire Fairgrounds. Now, we cleared that up, so we know what to call it now, even though it still could be crazy. Events that are coming up and events that are no longer at the fairground. I believe the rib, isn't the rib cook-off no longer at the fairground?
No.
Or is it different now?
It's different now to a certain degree. We actually bought Rotary out when they decided to stop doing that event. And we had done it 3 times in the month of April, and we've just since moved it to early June. We've added a backyard cook off on Friday night. So if you got a grill and want to bring your grill up here and cook, and if you want to supervise your child, we'll have awards for the adults in that category as well as the children in that category. The parents have to help them cook, and some various other things. But yeah, it's still up and going, doing well. And
well, we're just about through the month of March. What do we got coming up? What are some of the big things that we'll see in the next few months?
Well, we got Trading Hands Kids Sale here and a craft show here. We got the Outlander show, which is a lot of large off-road vehicles and stuff. They have a full grounds event coming up here. We got the Man Show. We own and operate the Man Show now. It's kind of got a new format to it. Lots of stuff to see, but on Friday night there'll be some whiskey tasting. There'll be 3 comedians doing their gig for 90 minutes.
Really?
A little more of an adult version than we've had in the past. And then
right.
Then the show on Saturday as well. Several, smaller rentals during that time. We do we work with the library, and the book sale comes in there early May. Two Friends and Junk. Our rodeo will be in May this year due to the arena being torn down. So we'll have a large outdoor rodeo.
Okay.
Professional PRCA rodeo, gun show. We got a swap meet and the NSRA car show. We're one of only 8 of those across the United States that they do a year. We roll right out of that into monster trucks, some livestock shows, the barbecue fest. So we got about 140 event rentals a year. And we own 19 of our own shows that we do on top of that.
Which is amazing. That place is busy all the time. And that swap meet is, that's got to be one of your biggest events.
The one in May is a little smaller. The one in August is a very large event. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've been on 44 Highway trying to get around it, and I'll tell you, that's almost impossible. It's crazy.
Our fair and our farm show is the biggest event. The farm show, it's interesting to see how that comes about, even myself. But
yeah. Now the fair, to be fair, you all were probably one of the only fairs in the country that actually continued during COVID.
Yeah, we ended up being the 20th largest fair in the United States in 2020. Out of that, 2020, it was an unfortunate time, but it was very good for our business. We took on several new shows during that point in time when people just threw their hands up and said, we're done.
Mm-hmm.
And we learned a lot from it. It made us think out of the box and pick up some new business. And we were really blessed with some of that.
Well, there was some risk involved there too, Aaron, but to be fair, I mean, you raised your hand and said, we want to go ahead and do this.
There was risk, but a lot of what we've already used from our world, we already dealt with the bird flu, the swine flu.
Mm-hmm.
When you got animals around, you deal with precautions for E. coli. We had 6 staff members that's been to school and trained in E. coli and how to handle certain things. So it was an unfortunate time, but a lot of the things that we practiced during that time was stuff we already practiced on half of the fairgrounds because of dealing with the animals and making sure that everything was handled, hand washing and a lot of things, just being precautious that we already did anyway.
Sure. Now you're competing, you were talking earlier, you're competing with some pretty good competitors. When you talk about JQH and also, what is it now? Southern Bank
Right.
Arena and the O'Reilly Center. Is that good competition? Does that help? I would think it helps the city because it creates more opportunities for shows and acts to come in.
Well, we're really in the middle. So O'Reilly's smaller, JQH is much larger. So we really fit that. We're kind of the spot that was a void in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we really compete against each other a whole lot because we kind of got our own different markets that we're going after based on the size of the footprint and the ability to move dirt in and out easily is probably our upside for us because I don't know if O'Reilly can. I know JQH can. It's a pretty good process.
Yeah, I think where's the circus? Isn't the circus at JQH?
Yeah, they used to move in dirt though for PBR, which we don't have a PBR since COVID, but
Yeah.
here in town.
No, it's crazy. Now, the thing that I recall from the COVID days was at the demolition derby,
Mhm.
which was really well attended. There were quite a few people there,
Yeah,
but we were outside, and it seemed. I mean, people were masked up. You didn't force it, but people that felt like they needed to were masked up, and I think everybody had a great time. And it kept the kids active, right, with mom and
right,
dad.
right.
Yeah, because they didn't have a whole heck of a lot to do. Seeing that you got promoted to CEO after you're kind of the whole face of the whole Ozark Empire Fair anyway, why the new title? Why the CEO? What happens?
We had a consultant come in from a large fair in Iowa about 3 years ago, and I needed a succession plan, and we'd been training. Actually, my son had been our operations manager for 7 years, and I'm looking at that 6-7 year window of slowing down, and so we brought him on up as general manager and divided up some duties to where I'll have a lot more to do with marketing and going out to trade. Never went to trade shows before.
Sure.
Because we didn't have anything to sell. We're full. But now we'll be going out to market the new arena and build that clientele with it. And hopefully in the next 5-6 years have that repeating events coming in here on a yearly basis and have it full as well. So it's part of our long-term succession plan.
Aaron, that's pretty amazing when you think about it. The fairground does find itself full almost every weekend, if not every weekend.
The amazing piece for us is when we look at, because you're in it for the community as well as creating jobs for your friends and stuff here. I call them our family because we're still a small family. Is our economic impact in 2006 was 14 million, and in 2016 was 29.5 economic impact. And then they overlaid, did a preliminary study in 2022, 2021, 2022 that got us, was over that 40 million mark. And then we hired someone to do an economic impact of the new arena laid over the top of that. And on a smaller scale than we're already at, because of the events we got booked, we would be at a little over 52 million. So that'll be larger than that. So a lot of tax revenue coming back into the city, and
sure,
which makes you feel good.
No, it should make you feel very good. If you compared that with a couple of other things, how does that $50 million compare with some other activities in the city?
I don't know. People do those different. We've always hired a outside third party, and that third party, when they're doing it, they don't count mine and your money because we're already in the community and we're going to spend money anyway. So they peel that back. They got to come. We actually just this last time helped them buy new software that takes out of account those people that's already in that 75 or 100-mile radius, and they're only counting the money that's coming outside of that. So you hear different things promoted and how I've just been worried about staying in my own lane and growing.
Well, but that's a big number. $50 million is a big number, and I would guess the CVB is pretty excited about that number as well.
Yeah, CVB and the chamber have both been Greene County. They've all been behind us and champions to help us grow.
Any chance that they would ever move the state fair?
No, they're getting ready to make. I don't believe so. They're getting ready to make some large improvements up there. They just bought another 100 acres, maybe even a little more than that, and they're going to build a new arena as well. They just need to find some hotels, but I think it's a staple. It's set there. There's too much heritage. We looked at moving this fairgrounds.
Sure, absolutely.
And even though business-wise it says you need to be, 10 miles further west or 10 miles further east,
Hmm.
There's been too many smiles and memories made here that people's going to run over you if you do that. So
Yeah.
we're here to stay.
Speak, if you will, a little bit to an event that I'm fascinated by, which is the gold buckle belt, the gold belt
Gold
buckle.
Buckle Gala. Yeah.
What is it now?
Gold
Get it?
Buckle Gala.
Gold buckle gala, and it's amazing the amount of money raised for kids that are part of farming.
Yeah, it's one of our signature events that we do, and thank you. It's something we're very proud of, and we've won several international awards, and several of them just on that. But it's we're very proud of. I don't know what the actual number is now that we've gave back to youth since 2002, but it's well up over $1.5 million that the youth comes in here and they show an animal, and if that animal brings $20,000, we take 5,000 of it, and the kid walks out of here with 15. And it's something that we've modeled for a lot of other fairs, and that only works because our community's behind us. In the last 5 years, our community is they've actually impressed me of how they love to come to the event, and they love to do something for youth and something for agriculture, which is we was chartered to continue to support agriculture, and that event sure lets us do it.
Well, I think the other part of it that's really great is you get to see young people. You see a lot about young people today, but you don't see young people like the kids that come out to show their animals. I mean, it's amazing. Those kids are so happy.
Right.
They range in age from, I don't know, like 7 or 8 years old, all the way up to college age. And it's just amazing the kind of money you're able to raise for them and how excited they are. And how hard they work, right, in the off season to raise these animals.
No, they do, and that was a big underlier of why we did the fair in 2020. Is you've got all these families, whether it's their garden or their wood carvings or their hogs or their cattle or whatever they've worked on. It's kind of like I tell everybody, it's like the Rose Bowl parade. They start working this year to do next year, and then. So to be able to open the doors and let them bring their exhibits in and compete and bring their money in they were quite thankful, and it was quite impressive.
Yeah, it's very impressive. When's the kickoff of the first arena football game?
June of 2024.
Well, that's not far away.
No, it's coming up fast.
That's exciting. Have they got a name yet?
No, I think there's still a competition going on, and the lady that was in there on the computer could have told us, but you can go out and look under Arena League, and you got an opportunity to help name the team.
Well, that'd be a lot of fun.
You're able to vote on it. So I haven't been out there and looked. I know they were laughing and calling it the Cashew League and Route 66 League, and there's been several fun names thrown around, but I don't know where they're at with that now.
Well, what's fun is it's one of what are they going to do? 8? Is it 8 teams?
Yeah, there'll be 8. Could be eventually more than that, but there's four teams in 2024, and then they'll grow again in 2025.
But that's exciting. We have world-class tennis in Springfield. We obviously have world-class baseball with the Cardinals, and now we're going to have arena football. I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Plus Division I basketball and football.
Yeah, they're going to make it pretty fast. It's a 6-on-6, no kick. They want the VIP boost down around the arena. They want you to engage with the players and try to, if the ball's close enough to you, catch it. And you're going to get to score the referees instead of they were laughing because some of them was here. Tim Brown and said, I think it's time we start scoring those dudes too. So,
well, I'm excited for you. I want to thank my guest, newly elected CEO, but always the manager at Ozark Empire Fairgrounds, Aaron Owen. Aaron, thank you for showing up today, and I appreciate we finally got it to work out digitally for both of us. I want to thank all of you for listening and viewing today. Also, my producers, Taylor Worley and Jay Stevens, as well as all of you for joining us. If you happen to miss all or part of today's program, you can always find it in its entirety on the MidwestFamilySpringfield.com website or the AroundTheOzarks.com site, or even our new Around the Ozarks app that you can get in the Apple Store or the Android Store. Easy to find. You can hear and view today's show as well as earlier shows this year and last on all those opportunities. I'm Scott Meier, and remember, every day is a gift, and enjoy life. Thanks again, Aaron. Have a good day.
Thank you.